Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. In this video, I'm going to go over two interesting pieces of news that have broke in DDO land this week. The first of which is a series of potential buffs that the developers might be giving Barbarians. These are new buffs. These are not buffs that were a part of the recent enhancement pass to Barbarians. The second story is lag. There's been a much higher than normal amount of lag in the game, and it's caused a bit of a forum uproar in the DDO world here, and this lag has been particularly bad on the Kyber server. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about what I've been doing in game and how my character is progressing. But let's start with the Barbarian changes. I'm going to go down the list of the changes that the developers are considering giving Barbarians, and if you want to see the full thread on this topic, just check the description to this video. I will provide a link to that forum topic. But let's talk about Greater Rage. Greater Rage is the level 11 Barbarian class feat, and the following effects might be added to it. While raging, your melee power increases by 10. While raging, if you are wearing medium armor, your physical resistance rating increases by 10. I really like the melee power suggestion here. I'm not a big fan of the PRR suggestion. But the melee power suggestion is a move in the right direction. It's a good start. I don't know if that's enough of a compelling reason for Barbarian players to stay raged. I think that they're going to need to add more DPS than just 10 melee power. But like I said, it's a step in the right direction. The 10 PRR suggestion, I don't really understand, since you can gain more than 10 PRR by just wearing heavy armor. But with this change, the developers want to buff medium armor. There's not much reason for Barbarians to wear medium armor right now. Heavy armor is a lot more powerful, and while Barbarians don't get heavy armor proficiency, it's well worth the feat, the heavy armor proficiency feat right now. So all the Barbarian builds I've seen on the forums have been taking heavy armor proficiency. And traditionally, Barbarians wear medium armor, so the developers want to support that. Let's move on to Ravager changes. These are changes to the Ravager enhancement tree. They are fixing the bug to Pain Touch, which right now it has a cooldown and it shouldn't. They are adding a little bit extra damage to Mutilate. Just a few points of damage. That's not a big difference. Laughter, this is a big change. The Laughter enhancement is now going to add 10 melee power when Slaughter hits, which Slaughter is a special Barbarian specific melee attack. Before, it only added 10 melee power for 15 seconds on a crit. Now it's going to add that melee power anytime it hits. So that's a big boost right there. Really like both of those changes. And then we're going to go to some healing changes. Not a big fan of these healing changes. I don't think that really don't like healing being supported in Barbarian trees particularly. I don't mind healing being supported to an extent where it helps Barbarians from turning into requiring a cleric player to babysit them. I don't mind healing that enhances their ability to stay alive between fights. I'm not big on buffing healing that gives them in-combat healing abilities, but these aren't big changes. The Frenzied Berserker accelerated metabolism is being increased to 3d6. I believe it's 2d6 right now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to check. But it's a small buff to that slow Frenzied Berserker regen. Okay, that's fine. I really don't have much of an opinion on that. Also, it's going to add an additional 20 healing amplification while raging. Really like that. I like when they support team play. More healing amplification means it's easier for clerics like my main character to heal Barbarians. I really like that. Then Occult Slayer. They are going to reduce the cost a bit for one bond, which is the Occult Slayer, or one spirit, I'm sorry, which is the I call it Slayer heal, which basically is a heal that fills up. I believe most of our. I haven't tested it myself, but I believe it fills up pretty much most of the Barbarian's health bar, but it can only be used. It can't be used very often. They're basically going to increase decrease the cost and increase the amount it heals for. Really not much of an opinion on the healing abilities, since it really won't make much of a difference in Epic Elite, which is primarily what I run anyway and what I care about. So overall, it seems like the developers are finally getting the message here that Barbarians need more DPS to be viable. You can't just give them DPS that's similar to Paladins and expect players to play them. Because of all the hits to survivability that they take, they need to have more DPS than any other, more melee DPS than any other melee class in the game, and I'm really, really happy to see the developers going in this direction. I still think that they need more than 10 melee power as an incentive to stay raged, but we'll see what happens with player feedback, and we'll see if this gets increased. Let's move on to lag. This is probably a result of the developers being out of the office the past couple weeks and sort of letting the lag pile up. Because of holidays, there just hasn't been any developers in the office. The lag appeared this past week was really bad, particularly on Kyber. The forum was filled with people saying the game was having constant lag spikes, that the game was unplayable, stuff like that. I actually logged on to Kyber myself to check out the lag. I don't play on Kyber at all, but I wanted to see what it was like, and as I was running around the server, I experienced the lag. I saw what players were talking about. It was constant choppiness, rubber banding. It really wasn't. I couldn't play on it. I would have not played if I was on the server. I actually saw quite a few LFMs up, and I was a little shocked by that. I would see how people would play with, be able to put up with that kind of lag. And I know it wasn't my connection because I was just on Thelanis about 5-10 minutes before I logged on to Kyber, and I was virtually lag-free. On Monday, January 5th, the developers brought the game down for about 2 hours to do a clear up on the lag. They also ended the festival tokens from dropping, but that lag clear up, that server restart, seems to have solved the issue for the most part. I haven't seen much complaints on the forums from Kyber players recently. I've seen a few, but not near as much as I was seeing before this restart. Before the restart, particularly over the weekend, there was just, it seemed like every other thread on the general discussion forum was complaining about lag. A little concerning, lag continues to be a big issue in the game, and I hope we see stronger developer efforts in the future to deal with this. Server restart, I'm glad it fixed the problem, but I want to see some kind of permanent solution. The lag is getting consistently worse in the game. I think it's something that developers can't overcome, but they need to focus a little bit more on it. I don't see much work and many comments going being attributed to lag. I've seen a few, such as the death worm changes, and I'm glad to hear about that, but more work needs to be done on lag, and I'm looking forward to seeing that in the future. Now let's talk about my character. I actually ran with a DDO live streamer named C Morrigu. He streams on the DDO's official stream site, which is twitch.tv/DDO stream. I ran with him on yesterday, on Tuesday. It was really interesting having two screens open on my computer. I had one screen that showed my play, of course, on my client, and I had his client open so I could see my character from a different point of view. It was kind of interesting playing and being able to see yourself twice. He was a little busy talking. I wanted to actually talk to him, but he was talking on the stream, but not in the party. There's actually a 30-second delay on the stream, so wasn't able to talk to me, but it was interesting running with him. We ran a little bit of Epic 3 Barrel Cove. My character is close to level 28. I should be there by the weekend, and I'm really excited for it because I want to get my final build together. I'm going to put out my actual full detailed video on my build really soon, and I'll have a post on the cleric forum when I do, and I actually already have that post written up. I've had it written for probably over a month, but I want to get my character his final gear up, and I want to try to do a couple of epic elite solos with him before I post that build, but it'll probably come the next week, both the video and the post in the cleric forums. And I'm planning to keep my main character at 28 for a while, even though I know sentient weapons are coming likely in 2015. I'm running a lot of Deathworm, and I'm planning to run more just so I can get enough Black Dragon Scale Phloxtons to craft a Tier 3 Thunderforged weapon. Adding Mortal Fear to my Thunderforged weapon is going to make a huge difference for Epic Elites, which is what I mainly like running. And it'll especially make a big difference when I'm soloing Epic Elites. But you need a whopping 30 Phlogistons for a Tier 3 Thunderforged weapon, so it's going to take me a little while. I'll need to definitely get to 20 completions to do it. On your 20th completion list for the Temple of Deathworm raid, you actually get an option to take, I believe it's 10 Phloxtons. And I'll definitely need that. The only problem is I don't really enjoy running Temple of Deathworm that much unless I'm in a fun group. It's okay. One of the big problems with it is lag at the end fight. That has appeared to be improved. They did make some improvements, like I mentioned earlier, such as removing the traps, the spell wards in the final fight, and it appears to help lag. I haven't experienced very much lag the past few runs in Deathworm, so I think it's improved. As far as future goals for my character, I really want to get some more epic past lives. Like I said, I'm going to stay at level 28 for a while, so I don't plan on doing that soon. But I was doing some testing with Draconic Burst yesterday, and man, that is a really nice ability, and it syncs well with my build because my build has high charisma, so it makes for a good DC. I looked into the fate points required to twist both Draconic Burst and Sense of Weakness, and I would have to get 8 epic past lives to have enough fate points for that. I already have 5 epic past lives. This will be my 5th epic past life whenever I do ETR. So 3 more is doable. It won't happen anytime soon. I'm not a major XP grinder, but I can see myself getting there probably by mid 2015. In the meantime, while my main character is at cap, I am planning to run a little bit with my 2 main alts, which is a wizard and a fighter. My wizard I TR'd to level 15 about 6 months ago, and he's only back at level 17. I haven't been playing him too much. The other alt, my fighter, I used to play a lot when cap was 20, but since I've only leveled him 4 levels in about 3 years. I don't play him very often, and he's quite a gimp right now. He doesn't have Cocoon unlocked, he's Warforged, and he doesn't have Silver Flame Pots unlocked either, so he's pretty dependent on a Cleric Hireling. So I've got a lot of work to do on him as far as unlocking those abilities. I'm also considering using my plus 20 Epic Heart to turn him into a Barbarian. I'm just waiting for the final Barbarian changes. I want to see what additional buffs they give to the Barbarian class. I'm either going to make him a Frenzied Berserker, level 20 Barbarian, or I'm going to turn him into a Sword and Board type fighter that uses the Vanguard tree. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on my next video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and tell your DDO friends and guildies about my channel. Thanks for watching.